The next poem is going to be a speech, and it is a very popular and a very famous modern Chinese poem by Xu Zhimo. As we probably know, Xu Zhimo is one of the most significant writers during the Republic of China, and then he went to Cambridge, and then his most famous poem would be "Say Goodbye to the Cambridge." But today is not it's actually not that one. And what I'm going to perform is called the By Coincidence. And then I think this poem's about an encounter with a girl, and then they just met very shortly, and then I believe they had some fun together, and then later on they just said goodbye to each other, and then can never find each other again. And then, well, I believe quite a lot of us would have some experience like this, and then I think this is just how Xu Zhimo himself expressed his encounter. Please enjoy. 偶然，徐志摩。我是天空里的一片云，偶尔投影在你的波心。你不必讶异，更无需欢喜，在转瞬间消灭了踪影。你我相逢在黑夜的海上，你有你的，我有我的方向。你记得也好，最好你忘掉，在这交汇时互放的光亮。So the next poem is also going to be a speech. It is also by one of the most significant and important writers called the Dai Wangshu, and he's also a very famous writer during the Republic of China. This is probably his signature poem, I would say. It's called a Lane in the Rain, and then this is also about encounter with a girl. And then as you can see, I'm a very big fan of the love poems of during that period of time. And then this time is gonna be different from Xu Zhimo's. And then this is more specific. And then he encountered a girl in the rain lane in the lane in the rain. And then he was he definitely had a crush on her, but he was too afraid and he was too shy to actually approach to her and start the conversation. So in the end, although after a series of the mental movement and then the psychological movement, he chose to let the girl go. And then this poem is an encounter. It's a story about that. Please enjoy. 雨巷，戴望舒，撑着油纸伞，独自彷徨在悠长又寂寥的雨巷。我希望逢着一个丁香一样的结着愁怨的姑娘，她是有丁香一样的颜色，丁香一样的芬芳，丁香一样的忧愁，在雨中哀怨又彷徨。她彷徨在这寂寥的雨巷，撑着油纸伞，像我一样的默默赤触着，冷漠凄清又惆怅。他静默地走近，又投出叹息一般的眼光。他飘过 的，像梦一样的凄婉迷茫，像梦中飘过一只丁香的，我身旁飘过这女郎。她静默的远了，远了，到了颓圮的篱墙，走进这雨巷，在雨的哀曲里，消了它的颜色，散了它的芬芳，消散了甚至它的叹息般的眼光，丁香般的惆怅。撑着油纸伞，独自彷徨在悠长又寂寥的雨巷。我希望飘过一个丁香一样的，结着愁怨的姑娘。So the next poem is also a very typical modern Chinese poem during the Republic of China during 1935, and the author Pu Feng wrote the poem in Japan during the Sino-Japanese War. So, as probably based on the context and based on the history, you can probably imagine that this is no longer a love poem, and then it's no longer an encounter story with a girl. This poem is called The Moths Flying into Fire. So this is more like a metaphor that praising those soldiers, those warriors who would rather just sacrifice themselves to save their own country, and then to save more people, sacrifice themselves to save the greater good. 扑灯蛾，蒲风，熊熊的火焰在燃烧，无数的扑灯蛾齐向火焰中扑跳，先先后后，没有一个要想退走。哦，你渺小的扑灯蛾哟，难道你不知道这烈火会把你烧？难道你不曾看见许许多多的同伴已在火中烧焦？为着坚持自己的目标奋斗到底，不怕死；为着不忍苟全一己的生命，不怕死。扑灯蛾，是否你们会因而继续不断地投在火焰里？熊熊的火焰在燃烧，无数的扑灯蛾已在火中烧焦，先先后后，没有一个要想退走啊！他们没有一个要想退走。The next poem is composed into a Chinese art song. The poem is also written around 1920s, and then the name of the poem is called the Three Wishes of Rose. And then rose is just always a good metaphor for life. So a metaphor for love, a metaphor for passion, a metaphor for all the beautiful things. And the rose actually has three wishes. The first wish was that the rose was hoping that the wind and the rain will just stay away from it, and then the rose just won't be broken by by the rain and then by the wind. And secondly, the other wish is that the rose is hopes that the tourists can just behave themselves and just stay away from it. No matter how much they love the rose, they just don't pick it up and then walk away. The final wish of the rose is even like a deeper wish, and it's even more significant metaphor for life, is that the rose hopes that its beauty can stay forever, which is just like every one of us just hopes our youth, our most beautiful time of the life, can stay here forever. So please enjoy the song, The Three Wishes of Rose. So this is a poem called the "How Can I Stop But Think of Her" by Liu Banong, who was studying in London, England during the 1920s. And this poem was basically about while he's abroad and then he misses his motherland, and then also how he expressed his passion and his love to his home country. So as a student who studies overseas as well, then I definitely see this as also one of my very important songs to me, and this is also a very important selection or even collection in my album. This is a Chinese art song based on the poem, and then please enjoy. 天上飘着些微雨，地上吹着些微风。微风吹动了我头发，叫我如何不想他？月光恋爱着海洋，海洋恋爱着月光。这般迷思 面月华慢慢流，水滴儿慢慢游。燕子，你说些什么话，叫我如何不想他？枯树在冷风里摇，野火在暮色中烧。西天还有仙儿残霞，叫我如何不想他？So that is all about my projects and my performances, and then hope you've enjoyed it, and many thanks to my accompanist.
Thank you.